This is Danelle Stevens, and this is a screen recording showing you how to use the wiki to put materials on the wiki and what's exactly on the wiki. Some students have asked me for this. So first of all, I opened Google Chrome, and you'll notice up here I actually have it on my board up here. Just I can click on it, but it's www.wikispaces.com. You should have this account yourself because you have learned how, I hope, to get onto wikis. Now, you can see I have a number of wikis, but the one we're basically working on is Action Research Action. Looks like given this information over here, a number of you are already working on it and working on your pages. So, but some people still had questions. So here's the home page for the wiki. And if you need further information on how wiki works, you should go to Wiki Explanation. If you go down on the side here, you'll see all the different methods that you can use, and there's probably many more that you can use to gather data to address your research question, to answer your research question. And then I made these student groups for spring 2015. And it looks like one of the groups is already, several of the groups are already doing some work on theirs. If you go down further on the page, you'll notice there are other student groups from all the way back to 2011 that I've been doing this assignment, and they've all done what you're doing, which is they've divided into groups, and then these groups have been responsible for creating a page of resources for the students. So let's see if the case study. So the two students that are working on this, or two students, three, are actually starting to use the discussion page and say, let's work on this, how can we do this? And talking to each other in the discussions within the wiki, because the wikis are designed for collaboration. For those that are doing the interview page, let's see if there's anything on that yet. No. Yes. Oh, yeah. They've had quite a discussion. And some students have found that knowing how to do this, they also started using wikis with their students because they're really easy websites to create. Let's see. Survey and Likert, those folks haven't done much yet or anything. Draw Scientist, Sarah, Sarahi, and Brandy are on this wiki. And Sarahi and Brandy, and they're talking about what is this thing called Draw a Scientist, and they've also suggested information to each other about where the information is, what does it mean to draw a scientist, and why it's a method that you can use. If you are confused about what this method is about, go to some of these other student groups in previous years and see just what they have used to they have used in their sessions. But I'm really happy to see that these groups are actually talking to each other and using the discussion forum. And Angela is doing the right thing here. She's looking at focus groups from previous previous times that students have done this. So you're going to have to do a little bit of digging. I'd like to see you do something fresh that's not somebody else hasn't done in the other previous years. Find some of your own things. Figure out how to put them in. And like this student actually put in a YouTube video already, and that video, this is the link to that video. So let's say you have you want to add something to the wiki. The key area in which you add things to the wiki is, the key thing is that you have to edit and then you have to save. So this edit button is essential. So let's say you are, let's do Draw a Scientist. Or maybe I'll do, let's do Draw a Scientist. So the names are here, which is great, Sarah, Sarahi, and Brandy, and say they want to edit this page. This shows that they've had discussion posts. This shows that they've had revisions on the page, and they're just beginning to formulate what they want to put on this page. So the edit button allows you, gives you this, what's called a what you see is what you get, or WYSIWYG bar, And this acts sort of like a sort of like Microsoft Word. You can see I typed in there and it ended up that the page moved down, and when I do that, then those things will happen. You know, the page will move, and wherever you have the cursor is where whatever you want is inserted. So let's say we want to insert a file here and draw a scientist. It looks like they already have, somebody has a PowerPoint on it. So let's put that in, and right there, I'm going to take it out, but I'm just showing you how to do it. So that's already in the computer, in the system. So when you type that in, you found that file. Now, if you had something that was from the outside that wasn't already done, then you would hit, just like in D2L, you would upload files from the computer. So this takes you to your, would take me to my desktop, and it would show me, you know, like student works here, and it would show me the kind of materials that I could add, and all I'd have to do was to, here's the crosswalk between the two editions, and I'd say open. It would end up in here in kind of a holding tank in Wikispaces. And then when you, and it's still loading as you can see here, but, and then as it's, after it's loaded, you get this W, which means it's loaded. And if I now click it, it will end up right here in the wiki as an item. If I hit save, then it will be saved, and you can see it's now, you can open it, it will be downloaded, and you could read this, you can download this and read it. Now this is your page, this is Sarah and Sarahi's and Brandy's page, so I don't want to mess with it. So I'm going to go back to edit, and I'm going to highlight this, I'm going to say remove the file, highlight this and remove the file, and looks like they've got some materials here on what is Draw a Scientist, what are the advantages of it, what are the disadvantages, and they're beginning to get some structure to their page already. The discussions will not show on this page, but when you open the page initially, the discussion will be there. The final page won't have the discussions. If you wish to bring in a link from somewhere, you found some website that you think is really important, you again hit the edit button, and it says link, so it looks like a chain, it's a link. And you would not be a page or a file from someplace else, but this would be a web address. You would type the title of it, of an HTTP file, whatever, up here, and then we would put in the actual HTTP :/ that you, what you do is copy it before you get in here, and then you just enter it, hit V and enter it, and then you say add link, and then there's a link on the page. You know, if I wanted to do wikis in plain English, I'm typing. Okay, wikis in plain English. I might have the HTTP address. I would say add a link, and it actually, that top line is what it says. Now this is going to be dead because I didn't put a link in it, but that's, and look, it's up here, so I don't want it up there, so I don't know, maybe I'll have to redo it. I went wherever the cursor ended up, and then all I do is hit save, and that will be part of that page. Well, they don't want that up there, so I'm going to edit again. I'm going to go up here, and now I'm in the WYSIWYG editor, and all I'm going to do is dump this, and then they're back to the page the way they had it. So that's how it works to revise the wiki and to add pages and to add content to your page. Thank you. Figure out how to turn this off. Let's go back here. I want to